So we're here to talk about moving the clinic. That's what everyone understands?
Moving the clinic where?
The idea here is that the clinic as it is as we can see in this map that we've been provided, is in an insurgent activity area. So in that sense, we need to look out for the safety of the clinic first and foremost. And I don't see how having the clinic here is I just don't see how it's prudent for the clinic itself and for the people trying to visit the clinic when it's a very risky area to be in.
So where would you suggest moving it to?
Moving the clinic out of the insurgent area, closer to the U.S. base, would be preferable, so that security for the clinic would be stronger than it is right now.
But how would the village people access to the clinic? How would that
Exactly.
would that change, or would they still have the same access to the clinic?
Well, the idea here is that the U.S. Army is here. We're here to help, and so we would assist in any way possible to allow villagers access to the clinic. The U.S. base does not seem to be that far outside of the village, and so in that sense, if it is not that far outside the village, it may be a little bit more difficult to access, but transportation could be provided by the U.S. Army. We have the resources to provide that type of service for those who are unable to access the clinic. Along with that idea, the clinic, if moved from its current area, could be expanded and made better and made more expansive, so it can help even more people than it currently helps now. Because of the limited area the area it's in, U.S. Army would like to help. However, doesn't see how it's prudent to expand the clinic when it's in such a risky area that where it can be damaged very easily by insurgent activity.
The only thing is, if the clinic were moved to a U.S. base, and even if you were to provide transportation and make it easier for potential patients to get to the facilities, you have to understand, there are a lot of Iraqis who still don't trust Americans. That's something neither of us can help. So, be that as it may, even if they're on the verge of dying, they're still not gonna.
Americans don't even need to be involved in the process at all. We would supply the infrastructure that can then be implemented by the local population to do so. So the Americans don't need to be the one. The U.S. Army would not be the ones directly involved with picking up people and moving them, but they would provide the vehicles necessary. We provide the medical equipment necessary to expand the clinic if it were to move. We can make it better than it is right now. That's the idea that we have here, is to increase the clinic's capacity, to make it a better place, and to move it to a safer area so that it can continue to thrive and grow, as opposed to the place right now. It's very stifled in terms of the area that it's going to be in. The area that it's in is just not a safe area. You have to look out for the safety of the people in the village as well. The area that the clinic's in is not very safe. Being in that area in general is not a very safe place for villagers to be in general.
Okay, I see what you're saying. However, I believe that the people of the village or whatever, you may say that the area that it's in is not safe or sound for the clinic. However, the clinic has been there for a while, and it doesn't seem that there's been any problem. And maybe if it gets closer to the Americans, I'm not saying that you guys are gonna be like dominant or like, look out for your own good or like hurt the village people or anything, but maybe that may be in their mindset. So how would you like calm any like fears that they may have about the clinic moving?
Well, just moving the clinic closer to the U.S. base, as we can see on the map, on the general information we've all been provided, the insurgent activity is centered around the market area and centered around the clinic. And so, even though it has been safe in the past, the insurgent activity is more recent than when the clinic was first created, when the clinic was first around. So, despite its safety in the past, its safety currently is what's at risk right here. And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking to move the clinic for its own safety, and in the process, for and in the process of moving it for its own safety, expand the clinic and provide the infrastructure necessary, like for the people who who can't get out to the base. If the base is too far for a normal walk, say, provide this transportation for people who would need that type of transportation, and direction to people who need to figure out how to get to the clinic. It's the U.S. Army is here to try to make the village safer, and moving the clinic out was going to make it a lot safer because of the insurgent activity that's happening in that area. We don't see how it's prudent for the village to want the clinic in that area, despite its safety in the past. Its safety in the present is not. It's just not there.